Hello everyone, I'm Cloud and welcome to Anime No Mi. Today, continuing with the One Piece videos, we will finally talk about the complete events of chapter 1044. In today's video we will look at all the events of the newest chapter of One Piece, the appearance of Luffy's new power, and the secrets of the great power that Luffy's fruit possesses. And I already count on your help to leave your like in the video to support the channel. I also hope you subscribe if you're still new here, and leave your comments saying your opinions and what the next videos you want to see here on the channel. Now let's go to the video. Guys, the chapter starts with the sound of the drums that were mentioned before. Then we see Zunisha going towards Wano accompanied with a fleet of marine ships. Meanwhile, Luffy wonders what happened, why he could get up again since he had lost the confrontation with Kaido. We then see at that moment the silhouette of Luffy far away. He was still lying on the ground, but now he was saying that he was feeling amused, and right after that he starts to laugh a big laugh, and meanwhile the drumming sounds were getting louder and some lightning was coming from around Luffy. Now we see Momonosuke, who was with a frightened expression wondering if Joy Boy was Luffy. This while he was watching the lightning and the new powers that were emerging on top of Onigashima. Yamato also asks Momonosuke if it was Zunisha who said this. The scene changes to the left hemisphere tower. There we see that Sanji wakes up fully bandaged, and he was together with Suma, who says she was amazed that he had the strength to wake up. Sanji also had a frightened expression. He looked up because he was sensing Luffy's presence in that place. Already on the main stage we see Kid, Law and Hyogoro, who were completely startled. Hyogoro wonders if this presence was the pirate in the straw hat. Marco also senses Luffy's presence and says that he was still breathing. Meanwhile Nami and Tama were scared and afraid. They were hugging while crying with emotion that Luffy was still alive. The scene shifts again to Mary Geos. One of the Gorosei says they lost one of their best agents and made Kaido angry, and now they were wondering if this was a wise decision. Another Gorosei replies that if it brings a good future then yes, it was a good choice. They said it was better to crush any insecurity. Another Gorosei says that Sekai Sifu has been trying to obtain Gomu Gomu no Mi for many eons, but still that fruit always disappeared several times during these last 800 years, as if the devil fruit itself was running away from them. Then another Gorosei answers him that this is not impossible, since Zoan have their own will, even more so a fruit that carries the name of a god. Then Gorosei reveals to us the true identity of the fruit that Luffy possesses. The Gomu Gomu no Mi is actually a Zoan called Hito Hito no Mi mythical, a fruit in the model of Nika, the sun god. The awakening of this fruit brings the user incredible physical strength and the freedom to completely modify his body. It is said to be the most ridiculous ability in the world, in the sense that this fruit is extremely powerful because of its incredible powers. The scene changes to the treasure room in Onigashima. Orochi calls for Hiyori. We then see Orochi buried by rocks and Hiyori watching him. Orochi says that he actually loved Oden too. He was being used by Kaido, so they should run away together. Orochi asks her to remove his nails that were nullifying his power. Hiyori tells Orochi that after stabbing the samurai who fed him in the back, she could not believe his words. She asked him if he had kept the promise he made to her father. As he went on to say that Oden believed the promise Orochi and Kaido made to him in exchange for the freedom of the country of Wano, he continued to dance non-stop for 5 years and never told the reasons why even to his family. Hiyori says her father kept his part of the promise. He believed in his promise of freedom for all. He endured 1 hour of boiling while his body was being burned in hot oil. But at all times Oden kept smiling. He did this to bring hope to everyone. Oden endured this pain for a long time just by showing a big smile on his face. We then see a flashback of Oden with Hiyori. Oden asks her if everything was okay with her, and little Hiyori asks him why he was happy while people were talking bad about him. Oden with a big smile answers his daughter that he was fine because he had the people he trusted most by his side, and he knew that these people were the ones who really loved him. Hiyori, still crying but with a smile, says that they will be together forever. Back to the present, Orochi then answers her saying that Oden really was a great samurai, and as the new leader of Wano, he would ensure that her father's legacy was recognized. Hiyori then removes her mask while we see Orochi showing a frightened expression. We then see Hiyori's face completely in tears, saying that her name was Kazuki Hiyori. Meanwhile she ordered Orochi not to say another word. Orochi was astonished at her words. Hiyori still continued to say that even when hungry or suffering she lived in the name of her father. She never recognized Orochi as Wano's leader even for a single day, and would never recognize him as Wano's protector. The more Orochi lived, the more innocent lives were lost because of him. Orochi, still scared, tells her to stop talking like that. Meanwhile he pleads with her not to do anything to him. Orochi said that revenge would lead to nothing and says that even if she takes his life she could never defeat Kaido. We then see a small flame spirit appear and move toward Orochi. While calling his name, Orochi looks away and quickly recognizes it as Kenjuro. This little spirit said that the time had come, he couldn't take it anymore. Orochi, with his hopes back for seeing an ally, says he has arrived at the right time. He orders Kenjuro to take the life of the woman in front of him. Meanwhile Orochi mocks Hiyori. He said that the revenge of that woman who who endured 20 years of hardship had come to an end. He said that it was a comic tragedy and that yet another Kozuki would lose the end in front of him. Finally, Orochi said that this was the fate of the strongest. But while saying this, Kanjuro's spirit touches Orochi, burning his body. Hiyori looks at Orochi while saying that the dawn will surely come. The Kozukis always keep their promises. At this point the manga returns to Onigashima. We see the castle far away, while on top of it hints of a new transformation appear again. Again we see the silhouette of Luffy saying that he felt he could do anything. He felt he could still continue to fight. Even his heart was making a funny sound. Luffy said he reached his peak. This was his strongest form. He names this transformation as Gear 5. Meanwhile, inside Onigashima we see several powers coming out of the top, and this causes Kaido and the other pirates to start falling. Kaido, without understanding anything, looks up wondering what was on top. The ceiling cracks again and a giant hand appears holding Kaido's body. All Kaido's pirates are completely frightened by that event. Law, Kid and Chopper are amazed that Luffy is still alive. We then briefly see Luffy's face, which was apparently melting. Then Luffy pulls Kaido to the top. While being pulled, Kaido's eyes resemble cartoon eyes. After pulling Kaido to the top of Onigashima, we see Luffy with a rather strong transformation. The pirate with the straw hat then starts to spin the Yonko in the air quickly. Again Kaido's eyes look like cartoons. Luffy stops spinning Kaido around and starts knocking him side to side on the floor. After that, Luffy then stops and starts laughing. Kaido is quickly stunned. But soon the Yonko regains his consciousness and realizes that Luffy was still alive, so he thanks him and uses a flaming attack on Luffy. Luffy, who was on the ground laughing a lot, quickly realizes this incredible attack coming towards him. The whole fight looks like a cartoon. With a startled expression, Luffy quickly grabs the ground as if it were a rubber and pulls it up as if the ground were something moldable. Kaido's attack hits the ground that Luffy had turned into rubber. Then the attack is reflected, causing a big explosion in Kaido's direction. We then see Luffy's complete transformation, his new transformation called Gear 5. Luffy, with his hand covering his eyes while standing upright, starts laughing a lot. Kaido was still intact after receiving the attack. With his head down, he asks Luffy to forgive him for the end of his last defeat. After all, he would not have wanted to win like that. Luffy, with a scary look and a big smile, answers him not to worry because they will settle the battle at that moment. We then see a small message saying that the battle is in its final moments, so soon we will see the real winner of this fight. And so this is how the chapter ends. In this chapter we see Luffy awakening a new power that not even he imagined he possessed, a power in which he is ridiculously strong and legendary. According to the Gorosei, Luffy now seems to have the strongest devil fruit ever. Can you believe it? All we can do is wait for the next chapters to have a better explanation about these incredible events that occurred in this chapter. Comment on what you thought about all this. Thanks to all of you for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed the content and information in today's video. We hope that we will always continue together talking about the news of the anime and the manga, so comment your doubts, news, or what you think will happen in the anime in the future. Also comment on the new videos you want to see here on the channel. We'll see you again in the next video. I'll wait for you here. Bye.